everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Solus Prime. You can see her there in front of her box. We'll go ahead and put her offside real quick and take a look at said box. Yep, it is a typical deluxe box. You got, the Transformers logo, Age of the Primes, and her name, the 13 Solus Prime, and hey, look, there's their symbol. And hey, there's a nice picture of her and on the robot and vehicle mode right there. You got this thing with 28 steps. You get of course the window on the top. You have the 13 Solus Prime and Takara Tomy. On the side, hey, you have the picture again and the 13, and then on this side you have the some of the statues of the primes right there, and hey, it's deluxe class right there on the bottom. You have manufacturing details and what's included in the box, and on the back you have of course copyrights, warnings, and some product shots stuff. So there you go. And of course you have the instructions, which this time I would be honest, the instructions are a little like, what? There are a couple times I was like, wait, what? Seriously? Oh, okay, it's kind of odd. Definitely some things about her transformation which are a little annoying and weird, but beyond that, yeah. So Solus Prime here, she is again one of the 13 primes, the blacksmith of sorts, the forger, the forging thing. But yeah, getting in close a little bit. You can see, pretty good looking head sculpt. You got silver face, you got the little gold crest, green eyes, which like this big old shoulder pads. Bits of gold, purple bits of golds, and purple and silver right here. Big old blacksmith's apron thing going on. Nice, going down, purple and gold. You got more silver, purple, and gold right here. Going all the way down. She got weird little feet. That weird hook toe thing going on. Backpack, there's a bit of one, but nothing too severe. It's pretty flat against the back. Although you might have to, tab it in yourself out of the box, but yeah. So overall, she doesn't look too bad. And posability, she's got, head is on a ball joint. You got left and right, and you got up and down, although you got a little bit of waggle. Well, also this platform doesn't tab in super well, so also that kind of is a more up and down, I guess. So you got that. Shoulders can do a full 360. They also can go outward right there, and the shoulder pads they're also on the kind of our own double hinge thing, so you can adjust the, how they're sitting, so you can have them like sitting up or down or kind of whatever you want to do there. And they also get out of the way because of that. There's a bicep swivel right there. There's an elbow joint right there. The wrists are on ball joint, so you do not only have rotation, but also the inward and all that stuff. So that's great. The waist joint is right there, pretty unhindered. Which is nice. This big old apron thing can get out of the way in multiple pieces. So you got that, and then the whole thing right there. Yeah, and then of course the hips can go forward about that far and back that far before they run into the backpack. Outward, you have the full splits. It's also kind of a weird, soft faux ratchet. You do have, of course, thigh swivel right there. Knees are kind of weirdly low. I mean, look how long her shin is. Yeah, it's kind of or not shin, her thigh versus her shin. So knees, you get about 90 degrees there, but yeah, it's kind of a weird placement for a knee. Down here at the feet, you do have actually a swivel thanks to transformation. You also have quite a bit of ankle tilt as well. The foot can also go back a little bit, but not really forward. So, yeah, not bad. It's kind of odd in some places. My biggest peeve is just the head not fully tabbing in. She also has kind of technically three accessories, which is kind of all becomes one accessory. You got the stick, you got this little end of the stick, and of course that plugs in. Wrong side. Oh, wrong side. That's what it was right here. There. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, plugs in like that. And then this you can slide up into her hand like so, and then eventually you get a good grip bit, and then you got this piece right here. That's the head of the hammer, which goes on right there. And hey, now she's got her hammer, so she can forge things. Pretty neat. These are weird. This interesting little peg hole right here because it's completely goes completely through, but it's also one of those really tiny ones. I'm not sure what that's for exactly. And of course for storage as well, if you don't want her holding it, she can instead, you can take it out of hand like this, push this little tab right here, and that reveals kind of a shallow peg, which can go in this little shallow port right here on her back. Just be careful that the peg likes to fold it on you if you do this. And that can store right there, like so. Again, it's not super secure again because it's a shallow peg and shallow hole, so it doesn't take much to pull it out, but hey, that is a place to store it if you want to store it instead of having her hold it. So there you go on that. It's not bad. She's not bad looking at all. And then, of course, she's got a big old hammer, which is always a cool thing as far as I'm concerned. Hammers are always a cool weapon to give, I guess, weapon/tool to give to a Transformer. So there you go. Now, as for some comparisons, of course, Here she is with the line wide, I guess the standard for generations, which is there's Optimus, Series 86 version. Give you an idea there. And she's a deluxe, so of course she's quite a bit shorter. And of course, her previous Power of the Primes releases, right there, both of them, because one of them was a weird exclusive and the one was the standard store thing. Yeah, and of course, yeah, you can see actually the fun fact, they look, there's her symbol right there on the hammerhead, and there's the symbol again. You can see that. It's pretty neat that they're retaining those. Yeah. And of course, here she is with all of the primes so far released. Here's Prima Prime. Here's Vector Prime. And of course, Megatronus. There's the primes released so far. Funny enough, in this first wave, not including him because he was bringing out from Legacy, these three all had, the funny thing was, they were the ones that all had multiple releases in Power of the Primes. They all had a mainline release and an exclusive release. And so they all had two, the normal one and like the translucent variant. So I just find that's funny that all the ones that, those kind of releases, all were the ones that also were in the first wave of our Age of the Primes. And of course that came off again. Yep, that's robot mode as a whole. So yeah, getting her transformed is kind of a process because it's a weird one. It's one I feel like, I don't know, there's kind of oddities, which it's not so weird so much as somewhat frustrating. Yeah, getting the hammer, of course, get it out of their hand. We'll put that back together and put it off to the side for now. Now, what you do here is you want to go ahead and take the backpack here. You want to untap that, and then you want to get that back far enough so then you can go ahead and untap that so you can get this out of the way too. You want to get that out of the way. You want to angle the head back using the ball joint, and then use the hinge right here and push that back through, and then that will just kind of nicely nestle in there in the chest. Let's leave the backpack kind of extended like that for now. Now here at the shoulders, you want to kind of bring them out a bit, and then right here you want to rotate this piece right here like that. It's kind of a weird click point. It's kind of will thoop into place. Again, bring this out, and then just kind of bring this panel around like so, and again it'll kind of there's a nice soft point where it'll just kind of rest in place right there. Now from here, what you want to do is take these panels on the inside of the forearms and bring them out like this, and then collapse the fists into the forearms like so. Again, bring the panel out like that, and then collapse the fist in like so, like that. So from there, and then you want to here at the shoulder, want to bring the shoulder forward, which I keep forgetting about this because it's I see it as a transformation joint, not as a articulation. She does have this, or you can move this forward, which also yes, means she has a butterfly joint, which I completely forgot about. Yeah, she has a butterfly joint right there because of her transformation. Yeah, you bring these shoulders forward like so, like this. I always forget about stuff like that because it's so uncommon on main lines and whatnot. Bring forward like this, and also rotate at the bicep like that, so their arms are sitting like this, right? And then on right here, you want to go ahead and take the waist and rotate it 180 degrees like that. And then, okay, this is the weird, frustrating part because these panels really like to pop off really easily. What you want to do is bring these up on these hinges, and they see there's that hole is made from that panel being moved. This is going to kind of go over this big gray block right here. And sometimes it likes to fight a bit and again pop this panel off in the process, or just that's the first time that's happened. Figures. There we go. And then bring it using those hinges and everything. Bring this up and over this gray block and try to get it over, fully resting over top of it without catching, like that. So it's just kind of sitting like that. The arm sitting right there right now for now, like that. And then same thing on this side. Bring this up and over. Use those double hinges and bring it up and over this gray block. Try not to get it caught, because if you do, it's going to be a fun time where this panel will probably pop off. Yeah. And get it over top of that like that. It's a lot easier. Something's a lot easier. I swear, something for the first time in camera, it's like a little easier to do that, because almost every single time that's what fights me. So you got to get that stuff done. Now right here, what you want to do is you want to lift these side bits up right here on the skirt, on the apron thing, and then rotate the centerpiece like this, and then bring it through here, and then bring these down, and then rotate this back like this, and just kind of bring it down like that. And it's going to all sit like that for now. And down here at the feet, what you want to do is untab the wheel here like this. Bring the foot down like that, and then tab the wheel back down and make sure it actually tabs in. Then rotate the leg right here, foot right there like that. And then bring it up on this joint, and then bring it up on the knee joint, and this tab right here will go in that slot right there. Hopefully it'll actually all line up and play nice and not, you know, mess with you. Like it so often does for me. There we go. That, and just get that all tabbed in like so. So that's it like there. And do the same thing on this side. Bring that wheel out. Bring the foot down like so. Bring the wheel back over top and tab it in. This one's a little stubborn. And rotate it out, and then bring it up at this joint right here, and then bring it up at this joint, and then tab it in the back of the leg. Like that. And tab them together. Right here, there's a tab right here, which will go in that little slot right there, like so. Hopefully it's also lined up properly, because if it's not, it's going to be, again, a fun time. And this will just kind of sit right here. These little bits will just kind of sit right here like that. And right here, what you want to do is there's a tab right here on the arm. You can see that there's a little tab right here on the arm, which is going to a little slot on the hip. Like that. Like that, and this will, and then you'll bring this down as well. You'll want to then bring that up, and yeah, this right here, that's will kind of tap like this right here, and then right there on the hip, and then bring this down right here. This bit right here will come over. There's little tabs right here on the shoulder pieces, and I'll just tab over like that. Then right here, this will tab. Well, there's a little tab right here, and there's a little slot on this thing. You just kind of bring it up and just tab it in right there to kind of lock that everything into place and complete the truck mode. And there you go. Make sure everything's nice and correctly sit, and then sat. And there you go. There's Solus Prime in her vehicle mode. So yeah, Solus Prime. She's a weird, kind of odd-looking, I guess, Cybertronian purple truck thing. I like the front end. The front end's pretty cool, actually. It's weird and cool, and it's got this weird, like, this reverse sloped front end. It got the gold windows. You got these kind of gold, like, pseudo headlight things. And everything looks kind of cool from the front end and everything, and then from the back is like, oh, you just kind of, those are just knees, you know. It's just, and there's the, yeah, it just, they try to do something cool, I mean, somewhat interesting with the I guess the apron, and try to do something with it so it looks a little less. It kind of works, but also looks just kind of weird. But yeah, it's just the back end is unfortunately just kind of feels like an afterthought, unfortunately. So that's the thing. I mean, it does have nice silver painted wheels. There's that, you know, the wheels are painted silver. That's pretty nice. But yeah, rolls pretty decently if you get everything lined up. The only problem is that you can see this, the arms keep trying to collapse on you. So it's like, yeah, but rolls pretty decently. But yeah, it's just the back end just kind of is a little disappointing, and I wish there's something to be done about it, because it's almost like the back end is just, yeah, it just looks so odd from the back part. Like basically the front half is pretty great, and the back half is just, ugh. Of course, that's assuming you get everything lined up properly. Again, I have popped those panels off so many times transforming. I don't know, it's like, I don't know what it is. It's just, they just pop themselves off really easily. It's a little frustrating sometimes. Yeah, as for weapon storage, the hammer here has a tab on the side, which there's slots on each side of the car, and that could just go in there. I guess it becomes, it can become, I guess, more or less a mounted cannon of some sort. It can become a kind of side-mounted cannon, which, you know, I guess works. Or, you know, you can still use this peg right here to, you know, put it on top if you want, but it's gonna look a little silly. That does look a little silly, all right. Yeah, it's those are things you can do. So, yeah, it's just one of those things you get to the end and it's like, oh dear, because yeah, it's because a lot of the promo shots at the front end look really good, and then you get to the back end, and you're like, oh no, that's just, yeah, it's just. So I'm a little disappointed by it just because of that. The back end just feels like it just didn't quite get it felt like something could have been done. I'm not sure though, because deluxe budget. So yeah, Regardless, because beyond that, some comparisons. Again, here's Studio Series 86 Optimus. Which, you know, I don't know, it feels like that might be close to a good size right there between vehicles. Again, what is going on? Something it's kind of going to sit funny again. There we go. So there you go on that. And yeah, again, here are the other primes that are out so far. The 13, Prima, Vector, and Megatronus right here. Which, yeah, this feels okay. I mean, they're alt modes, which are kind of all Cybertronian-ish, although this one's kind of weird because it's, well, actually, well, it's also Cybertron-esque. But yeah, they're the primes in their alt modes. That's, I guess, 4 of the 13, so I guess we're now about a third of the way there. Thereabouts. Almost, kind of, yeah. So that's Solus. She's okay. That's the thing. Overall, she's very okay. I really like her robot mode. They kind of did something a little bit different. She does generally look good. I do like the shade of purple they used. The weapon's pretty good, even if the weapon storage itself is doesn't work super great. Yeah, she looks pretty good in the robot mode. The transformation is kind of weird because, like, it's simple in concept, but for me, I keep running these frustrations. I'm surprised it didn't go worse on camera. I kept running these frustrations. The stuff would just kind of bang into each other. Things would bang into each other, and then, like, stuff would, like, just not quite sit correctly, and stuff like that. You know, stuff would just simply not sit correctly, and I'd be a little annoyed. And, like, things would pop apart, and or things would pop apart or just get in the way, and it was just a little annoying. Like, I have so many times where these legs on the knees back here just aren't sitting, you know, aren't sitting straight, and I can't figure out why they're not sitting straight. Stuff like that. Or these shoulders would pop, you know, the panels on the shoulders would pop themselves off or whatever. So the little annoyances, a lot of little annoyances, and also the clearance for the head, you get the head into the chest, the clearance is really tight. And also getting the grill out, you know, popping this, folding the grill out can be also a bit of a tight thing. So there's like some clearance issues, which is weird for a mainline figure. Usually aren't clearance issues like this on mainline stuff, but it's a little frustrating. And then the vehicle mode itself is just kind of feels half done. It feels only like the front half is pretty good looking, but then the back half just kind of looks just like a folded up robot bits. So yeah, it feels like it feels incomplete, which kind of stinks. So as a whole, yeah, it's a weird mixed bag of deluxe, and I'm a little hoping for better than this, but yeah, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I guess. Which I think in the end means I think that means actually the Aerobots are slightly better than her overall, just because even if they have kind of very simple transformations, they don't have their vehicle modes almost feel a little more cohesive as a whole. Although actually Slingshots does. Air Raid still feels a little weird. But she's got a solid robot mode, so I don't know. It's kind of a weird mixed bag. So it's just one. I guess you gotta have to file under Cybertronian vehicles are just kind of weird. And you have to just accept that. So yeah, it's kind of weird mixed bag, but you know, robot mode itself might be good enough that you might consider picking up, and of course it does come with a hammer, which is always a cool thing. So that's it for this review. I hope you find it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media, down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Ko-Fi, my Patreon, and I shall see you next time with another video review.